onto our warehouse, we put an additional 40,000 square feet, and we looked at the cost of AGV, the automatic guide vehicle, and the cost of putting the tracks in was prohibited versus what we could save in construction costs by just implementing a MiR robot solution. So one of the main reasons why we looked at the MiR solution for our warehouse, we'd added 40,000 square feet already onto our existing facility of 80,000. And if you look at the distance that it takes for an individual to walk from one end of the building to the other, it was a no-brainer to add a robotic solution to move product from one end of the facility to the other. We're not immune. We're like any other company that has trouble finding qualified people today, and it just made sense for us to look at automation versus hiring a human being.
Before MiR, our warehouse was quite a bit smaller. We got MiR at about the same time as we completed our expansion. So it wasn't a big deal, but we used to have to take orders from department to department, drop them off at the designated areas, and then the department's employees would then pick them up and bring them back to us to be shipped out whenever that product was completed in assembly. The MiR robot does a steady loop all day. It runs between my department, which is the warehouse, our conversions department, and our will call area. So it's 3 departments that it drops off in a steady loop. It will drop off, stay for 15 minutes for offloading and onloading, then move on to the next department. This allows us for will calls we can deliver all day long during a normal 8-hour shift.
The improvements we've seen with MiR with the flow within the warehouse, the number one issue is that we are able to keep our employees within their working cells or pods. They're not leaving their area, and they're able to get more done in a shorter period of time without having to walk back and forth and looking for parts or looking for orders within the system. So just by having our employees being able to stay where they are and not moving around, just leads to more and more orders being completed and processed throughout the course of the day.
For our warehouse and how we operate, it's less about flow and more about keeping employees integrated into what they're doing every day. We keep employees on task. They get more production done, obviously means more dollars for the company in and of itself. So as far as flow goes, it stayed about the same, but this just frees up that employee hour or hours during the day that I don't have to have someone traveling between departments.
Our productivity with MiR has greatly increased since we've implemented it within our warehouse. We added about 50,000 square feet to our facility, which greatly increased the travel distance that it took for people to walk back and forth from the warehouse to other departments to deliver parts. With MiR delivering parts up to 4 times an hour, we've saved approximately 80 hours plus in the last 3 months, which basically says that we have an extra 2 weeks of labor that we can have someone else doing another project or another function within the warehouse instead of running parts back and forth between departments.
So in less than 9 months since we implemented the MiR robot within our own warehouse facility, we're estimating cost savings already in excess of $20,000, which represents the direct labor cost of not having a human being moving material around in the warehouse, and we're using it with the robot. We are calculating that with the addition of the MiR robot to our warehouse facility, that our payback will be less than 12 months.
MiR's technology, where it can scan and know where it is, it can also scan and know where we are as far as avoiding us. So it doesn't get in our way, it doesn't disrupt the flow at all, it actually works around us so we don't have to work around it. Its sensors will pick up forklifts, it'll pick up individuals or carts that we use for picking, and it's actually programmed to use a secondary or tertiary route if we block off an entire aisle. So a lot of times if we're doing forklift work and it's main aisle, it's not an inconvenience to us, we don't have to move anything, it will move and go around us.
MiR does not disrupt the flow of the warehouse at all. With the way it's programmed, it can sense another human being, it can sense a piece of equipment being moved in its path, and it just goes around it. It is a very useful tool as it flows through the warehouse. People are able to put parts on it to get from one department to another. It's not a disruptor, it's actually helping our business be able to become more efficient just by going back and forth between departments in the warehouse. There's so many that I could identify, I don't know where to even begin. The one thing that I think is probably the most helpful, from small products to large products, and depending on what accessories you buy, you can even tow pieces of machinery from one department to another. With that extreme load capability with these towing products offered by MiR, the possibilities are endless in its uses. The other area that even within an office, moving mail, moving paper, anything is possible with MiR. It does not have to be on a warehouse floor.
So with the MiR robot, we can see that it can be used in many other applications within plants. With the hook, it can actually move pallets around in the warehouse, or without the hook, we can actually see the robot possibly delivering packages inside our organization to the office area.